Hello, how are you guys today? Welcome to our vlog, the Ellie and Jared YouTube channel where we do whatever the freaking heck we want to do. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you know exactly when we put out a video, which is Monday through Friday. It's pretty great. Yesterday I did something sweet. When I was at the grocery store, I saw something magical happen.
What?
I saw someone packing up a van full of Girl Scout cookies. And I thought, no, I miss them. But I said, do you guys have any left? And they said, yes, we have a few left. And I said, can I please get them? And we left them on the table last night. So I have to ask you, Ellie, did the kids see them and eat them all?
They saw them when they woke up, but they didn't eat them.
Oh my goodness, are they in the pantry?
Yeah, on top. I'm gonna get Tommy boy.
What is your favorite Girl Scout cookies? Oh, there they are. These guys right here. Oh, I used to be like 100% Thin Mint is the way to go for Girl Scout cookies, but Samoas are probably my new favorite. I don't know why, like I don't know if it's like a taste that has just grown with me or what, but the Samoas are so stinking good. Hey, Mr. Smiles. Hello. Are you seeing Penny? Penny with her giant donut. I told you not to get into the donuts again.
Yes, they've been just the best of friends.
Yes, they have. Are you happy to see Penny? Are you happy to be away?
Penny fell asleep last night in Tommy's room while I was putting Tommy to bed. And it was probably the cutest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, so freaking sweet. The cookies are beside the point. That's not what's important today. Today, something is important and it's all about making an
assumption.
An assumption about you and me. Because you know, when you assume, you make an you me.
It's taken Jared a minute for me to be okay with this. I'm like, you're just openly asking people to, most people are nice, but some people to be really rude. And I'm in a happy, healthy place in my life. So
yeah,
I'm gonna just take it with a grain of salt and we're gonna have some fun.
Yes, we are. So today we are doing the assumptions about me video. So on Instagram, I literally just posted, what are your assumptions about us? And today we're going to read through some of them and answer those dirty, nasty little things right now, today. Say that even I was a little bit nervous when we were starting this.
We love you guys.
We love you so much. I was very pleasantly surprised when I saw the majority of these assumptions. Like, sometimes you think, oh man, these people have terrible assumptions about me and think I'm a terrible person. But you guys are just so sweet. I was nervous, but now this is like gonna be really fun, I think.
It's almost comical though. So, like, Jared did show me a few that I'm like, come on, that are just like, blatantly like, Jared's gay, and I'm like, he's not. He's married to me. But things that people like try and be rude about when it's really not.
Like
if he
being
was,
intentionally rude.
who cares?
Yeah.
But
they're being rude for being the sake of being rude.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about that right now. Let's go right into this.
Awesome.
Okay, first one. Are you ready?
Butterfly Dreamy, how cute is that name?
Jared, when you're not filming, you're a tad quieter, calmer, and probably quite strict. What do you think about that?
Ooh, I would say it's the opposite.
I was gonna say the same thing. I feel like I'm more outgoing, I'm more lively when we're not filming all of the time.
I would say it's the opposite. The thing is it's hard to like pick up a camera and really show like
the moment. It's hard to
the
capture
moment.
the exact moment something happens. So I think that's, I mean, it's a pretty safe assumption because like you think people are a little bit more mellow off camera, but I feel like
I would say Jared's the same, if not the opposite.
Yeah, for sure. That you guys can't, specifically Jared, go to bed without brushing your teeth.
What?
Should I say this?
Oh my, hell no!
Ellie, so Ellie, for the most part, Ellie will brush her teeth before we go to bed. I am not good at that.
Never.
I am not good.
Do you ever brush your teeth?
Don't tell them. Our dentist is probably watching. Okay, let's say this.
Oh,
we went to
this.
we went to the dentist today. Guess who had cavities and guess who didn't? Ellie had cavities and I didn't. So I'm doing something right. I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna start brushing my teeth. Having kids never made your marriage struggle.
I think
that is a really interesting assumption.
I don't think having kids made our marriage struggle. I think having kids brought us closer together because we had to communicate. We had to make sure we were on the same page with things. I don't think it did. I don't think the struggle was the kids.
Yes, I agree. Having kids didn't make Jared and I struggle marriage-wise.
Yeah.
But that's a big question because we have struggled since having kids. But to answer the question, that's hard.
Yeah.
We've had our struggles the last 5 years since having kids. And is it because of having kids?
No.
No.
No, it's not.
Picking my kid's nose.
Jared is incapable of being in a bad mood. What do you think? What do you think, Ellie?
That is false. Jared is capable of being in a bad mood.
I'm very capable. I am very capable of being in a bad mood.
Let me give you a scenario.
Calvin's like plugging his ears.
Let me give you a scenario
Totally.
that happened today.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
We're on the same dang page. This morning, I was feeling extremely overwhelmed. We had dentist appointments, we had...
Dropping the kids off at school, picking them up from school.
Today was just, Tommy's been hitting his head on everything, like, he's learning to crawl. So I'm like trying to like chase him around the house. This morning was hectic. Jared's office is
a tornado.
Is always a mess, and that stresses me out. I was getting flustered, and I told Jared, I said, I don't want to be upset, but I'm gonna lose it in a minute. And I was saying how like when your office isn't organized, it affects the whole household because like we work from home and we're constantly doing emails with companies. We're constantly working with things with our clothing line, and I was overwhelmed. And so Jared was so nice and he listened, and then he said, well, I am stressed and overwhelmed too. And I instantly was like, what, why? And he said, I had to make like a whole huge thing on the Bali website because of some of this wholesale stuff that's going on the website. And he goes, I have a lot of time crunches today. Like I have to do that today and I'm overwhelmed. And I'm like, what? You are? Like I didn't know. So Jared was in a bad mood and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
He's very, you are very good at holding your composure. But when you are upset, you make it known. But
everyone knows about it.
But in a nice manner.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So is Jared capable of being in a bad mood? Yes, but he is the gemstone that I caught. So, so proud.
That's so sweet.
It's
Can I
true,
kiss you on the mouth? You went for the cheek.
I didn't feel like kissing you this morning.
No, you
it's
didn't.
Like, your office isn't it?
Here's a really good one. Okay. You pick your nose all day, every day.
Oh my gosh, that's so true!
Ellie does pick her nose quite a bit.
No, that's to both of us.
I pick my nose quite a bit. We all pick our nose quite a bit. Here's the thing.
I pick my baby's nose.
Yeah, you just did. You just did.
Picking my kid's nose.
Here's the thing. If you don't say you pick your nose, you're a liar.
One time we had a conversation with a friend, and she's like, I don't pee in the shower. I was like, that's like natural. Doesn't everyone?
I feel like that's like one of the best places to go pee.
Anyway.
But
yes, I pick my nose all the time. All day, every day.
I think it's safe to assume that some people don't pee in the shower. I don't think that's the same with picking your nose. Everyone picks their nose.
I go pee in the snow, I will turn yellow.
Oh!
I don't think everyone pees in the shower.
No,
I don't think everyone picks their nose. Yes, I pick my nose, but I also wash my hands, and I keep a flippin' dang clean home.
Yes, you do.
I'm not ashamed of it.
No shame.
It happens.
No shame. Okay, boys, are you gonna get your shoes on? We are going to the store because we need to get Aunt Linda a birthday gift. Oh, you got your boots on, good job. Oh, and you're having a little cereal. We'll eat that really quick.
We need to go grocery shopping.
We need to go a little grocery shopping. I wanted to do this one as we were kind of like walking. You are so cute. Okay, here's another one. You have difficulties in your marriage, but you fail to show them on camera. What do you think about that?
Obviously, we don't show everything on camera.
Right.
we definitely have issues in our marriage that we struggle with that we don't film on camera, but that's not to hide and try and be perfect on camera.
Yeah. We show plenty, we talk about things that we are working on in relationships frequently, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the things that we don't talk about is because it is so personal and intimate, and a lot of that is the intimate side of our marriage.
Yeah.
I would say some of the things that we've struggled with in our marriage, like probably the biggest thing is intimacy. Whether it's been issues that we've been dealing with that happened, like whether it was before marriage or going through infertility, really put a damper. Put you in here too, not just me.
I'm sorry. Let's be intimate while we talk about our intimacy issues.
Going through infertility, like that was really rough, and it took us. And then having kids, yeah. To answer the other question, having kids didn't affect you marriage-wise. Yes, it did. It affected us in the intimacy department. Level. You know. I would say that that's our struggle, but we really don't talk about it much. Maybe on a podcast, I would be more open to talking about that. And a little hint, I may be talking about it in a book.
Yeah. All right, we are going to do a rapid fire round. We're gonna answer these as quick as possible. Jared tries to be the life of the party.
Duh!
I don't know if I try. I think I just like to have fun. You would adopt one of your siblings' kids if you had to. Absolutely. 100% on both sides of the family. I assume that you guys had done IVF. No, we actually didn't. We got pregnant while we were on Femera. You get embarrassed when Ellie laughs or screams loud in public. Ellie, I love it.
I feel like you get embarrassed.
I do a little bit when it's, to me, is inappropriate, like at a movie. That's what I think, honest. Quick rapid fire.
That is something that my feelings get hurt sometimes, that I have to tell Jared, like, I'm like actually laughing loud and I feel dumb. Like, I don't like to feel dumb.
And I don't want to make her feel that way, but we're in the middle of a quiet movie. It's like, oh,
it was funny.
that's what it's like. You're afraid to speak about your political beliefs.
No.
I don't think I'm afraid to speak about the political beliefs. What I believe it is I don't have the knowledge to really speak about it. I'm not a source for political conversations, so there's not a lot of weight behind what I say. That's why we don't really talk about politics that much. You are someone that anyone can get along with. I certainly like to think so. I feel like I can talk with anyone, and I think that's cool.
There has been 1,000 situations since we've been married that situations were kind of weird and awkward, and Jared always turns it around. That's why he was good at sales before we did this. This is why companies really like to continue to work with you, is because you are good to work with. Like, you're a fun person.
I was awarded for my customer service relationships in my previous job. Just so you know, I flew out to Denver for it, and they gave me an award for it. So
you did, they did. It was a coin. It was amazing.
Yeah. I assume Ellie would be happy being a boy mom and doesn't feel desperate, doesn't have a desperate desire to have a girl.
I'm pulling over.
Oh! Emergency lights are on.
That is the sweetest assumption that anyone has ever said. I was so nervous to do this video. Like, that is the sweetest assumption. Like, thank you, because that is 100% true. I kind of feel uncomfortable when I'm around people and they say, oh, are you gonna try for a girl? And I always go, well, I have 3 beautiful boys that look just like me and act just like me. Like, I am content with what I have, and I love it.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that assumption. That was so sweet. Okay, grocery shopping. Blinker, let's go.
Blinker. My assumption is that your kids don't act out in public. Ooh, they're not crazy in public. I think they do pretty well, all things considered, but they're kids.
Calvin had a little meltdown when we were in Disney World, and it was a viewer that was checking us out. I was buying them bracelets.
Oh, and that's right when I left with Cullen.
And he wanted the slap bracelet, but I had already purchased it, and he got what he got, and I wanted him to be happy about it, and he was not happy.
Yeah.
For the most part, they really are like good to fly with and travel with, and that's just because they're used to it.
Yep.
But
with that, these are rapid fire, Ellie. We gotta go faster. I assume Ellie is very schedule oriented and Jared is more laid back.
Yep.
Totally. I assume that everyone says your life isn't stressful, but you guys still go through a lot. I don't think this is I want to be very good with my choice of words here. I don't think people realize how much goes on behind the scenes, and it's pretty stressful. But we are so grateful for what we do, and we wouldn't trade it for the world. There is stress in it, but it's good stress. Yes? No? Maybe so?
Yes.
Jared doesn't clean much around the house.
Nope. Nope.
What were we talking about earlier? Not my office, that's for sure. You regret building the home you're in. Not
Why
for
would
a
they say
flippin'
that?
second. Not even close. We
Never.
love our house.
That's the weirdest assumption.
Ellie and I have told this to each other many times. When we wake up in the morning, we walk out of our bedroom and look into the living room, we are just overcome with gratitude. Like every morning.
And when and if we build again, it would be literally similar to what we have now. There would be a few changes because our life has changed as far as like Jared's office would be very different, but the layout is like, it's perfect.
It's perfect. We love our house. Okay, that's a good rapid fire answer. Actually, it wasn't really rapid fire, but you know.
Okay, use the regular spoon, okay? Okay, Jackson. Okay, how many of you guys growing up would sit with your sibling and eat out of a watermelon? Anyone? Anyone raise your hand? This was Julie and I. My mom would cut it up and send us off and share, but you guys aren't sharing. Share with them, mister.
I drink it. No, drink it.
Try it, see if it works.
He's laughing.
You getting anything?
Are you getting anything?
What?
Okay, I'm sorry. It was a lot prettier when I first had it plated, but oh my goodness. I wish you could taste it. This steak and lobster tail is magnificent.
I don't care if you don't clean. If you make this meal up for me, I'll be your friend.
Oh, good. Okay, so we have a few more questions, or not questions, but assumptions about us. You might be judgmental of those who don't live the same life as you, such as religion, drinking, and so on.
There's so much about that question that I like want to spit out.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. That is not the case. There are several examples that I can think of that has happened just recently. When we were on the cruise ship, some of the workers that work for Disney, we chummed up with and became friends and really got to know them, and they drink. We didn't. We still had a wonderful hangout and a dinner. One of the couples was the same gender and they were married. Loved them, didn't care. Like I don't like to be judged, and so I really try not to judge others.
Yeah.
Especially with that kind of lifestyle, I don't care. Like I'm living how I am happy with, and I just want everyone else to live how they feel like they should.
Absolutely, I totally agree. We have friends who drink. We have friends who are in different religious backgrounds. We have friends who are in different political backgrounds. That doesn't mean, family. That doesn't mean you can't be friends. We have friends who are in the LGBT community, LGBT plus community. Like that does not mean that we don't love you.
Or that we're judging.
Yeah.
What happened the last two meetups that we had, the Harlem Globetrotters, there was two female couples that were there, and I was like, oh my gosh, your ring is so pretty. And then I found out that she was there with her wife. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, and she was showing everyone her ring. It was so pretty. And then at our Bali meetup, there was a lady there, and I'm not saying their names, so I hope they don't care that I'm like talking about my stories with them. Her and her friend were there, and I met up with her, and I was like, oh my gosh, thanks for coming. And I was like, is this your friend? What's her name? And I could just see it on her face, like it instantly when I said your friend, like I could see her face demeanor changed. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, is this your partner? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, hi, like so nice to meet you. And she goes, I didn't really know how you would react. And I was like, well, we love you. I was like, this is awesome. And like, I was super, I hope she didn't care, but I was like, obviously super loud. I was like, you're in love! I like screamed and like hugged them both. And then I sat down and I probably talked with her for 30 minutes. And I was interested, and I asked her questions about her and her childhood, and she has a child, and she became like one of my friends, and she lives here in town, and she ended up talking to me about some of the stores that she likes, and it just didn't define our conversation.
It makes me think of Love is a many splendid thing. Love lifts us up where we belong. All you need is love. When we go to conventions, there are parties there, and a big part of those parties is there's drinking involved with that. Are we going to make someone feel bad for their drinking when we don't? No, we don't want them to make us feel bad for not drinking, so why would we make them feel bad for drinking? You know, obviously if it's under control, you know, we want to make sure everyone's safe, but we're not gonna put someone down for...
Do you guys know that one time, Jared and Joel, they were at a convention or something, and everyone was drinking, and they said it was so bad that they ended up helping the people back to their cars. Like they were making sure they had like Uber drivers and stuff. And Jared was like, yeah, the end of the night was rough. Like the last 2 hours, this is what we did. And I was like, oh, that's sad. But I'm glad you were there. We were
glad to be there. That's why it's important to have a designated driver, right? So, being judgmental of those who don't live the same life as you do, religion, drinking, and so on, I hope you don't have that assumption about us. We all live different lives, but that doesn't mean that we can't all be friends. And I hope that we all are. Were you forced to marry so young because of your religion? We were bound. We had to do it. No, I didn't want to marry Ellie, but our religion made us do it. No. That is not the case at all. We got married because we were in love. We knew that we were gonna do it. Like that was it.
I don't look back and regret anything.
No, not at all. And we've said this on the podcast before. We really enjoyed getting married at the age that we did. That doesn't mean it's for everybody.
Yeah.
My brother got married at my age, or maybe even a little older now.
I didn't feel anything. There was no pressure or anything, even with my parents. Your mom asked my parents, she's like, are you guys sure you're okay with this? My dad's like, yeah. Like my parents were very trusting of their kids' decision to marry who they did, and it just really worked out.
Absolutely. Because we're in love. Love is a many... Oh, I already did that. I don't need to do it again. Here's another one. You don't like to talk about your honeymoon. Ooh, I think that's partially true and partially not true. What do you think?
Mostly true.
Mostly true. And I think it goes back to that earlier question about intimacy. But I think we'll talk about it in a future.
For sure.
Yeah. And you'll probably see why we've waited to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are genuinely nice people and are as kind as genuine as you appear on the vlogs. Oh, I certainly hope so. Your marriage is in a much better place now than it was 6 months ago. You're happier. Would you say that's true?
That's so cute!
But is it true?
Yes.
Are we happier?
I would say since having Tommy, we've never been happier in our marriage. Like there's been a lot of changes in our life that's happened personally, mentally, since having Tommy, that we've grown closer together.
Absolutely.
That's so sweet that they can see that.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it comes down to is just how you've been feeling lately. Like our marriage has never been too difficult. We've had issues, we've had things, but it's never been like this, this marriage is difficult.
I would say definitely around like the new year, like we talked a lot about like really in-depth goals that we wanted to work on, and we've been able to really like conquer that.
Yeah.
And that's been helpful.
Ooh, I like this one. You save money for your son's futures, college, missions, weddings, etc. Yes, absolutely we do. So our kids are just as much of this as we are, and so we put money aside for the boys.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Huh, Jackson, do we save our quarters?
Yeah.
Those are your favorite. Do you spend them or do you save quarters?
For me to buy cupcakes and gumballs.
And gumballs, yeah. He spends his quarters, but I make sure he saves his dollars, huh? Spend a little, save a little.
There you go. Well, those are the assumptions that you had about us. Tell us if you learned anything new. I'm interested to see if your assumptions matched up with the ones that we answered. I think what it comes down to is in our heart of hearts that we are genuinely good and we want to spread good and positivity to everyone around us. you know, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you believe, we can all lift each other, and that's what we want to spread around the world.
Being in the social media has been amazing. Just with me being able to find like a nutritionist that lives far away, like being able to find people that live all over the world and being able to hear their stories, how they grew up, is inspiring.
Absolutely.
And it's been a really fun journey, and it's opened my mind and my heart to like love and be open even more than I am. But I really think it's amazing.
Yeah, social media has definitely like opened my mind, my brain, and my head, you know?
Goodbye, guys.
Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.